Hey Anabolic Stick, I'm Connor Sinan, and I want to bring you along to drug test Hussein, and I will pay for everything. So here's my offer to you again. I'm down to get tested whenever you want, and if I fail that blood test, I will give you $100,000. But if I pass the blood test, I want you to make an apology video and finally admit that I'm not a fake natty. You literally have no reason not to accept Connor's offer now that he said that he'll pay for everything. Now put your money where your mouth is, and it's not even your money, and come here to Montreal and test me. The ball is in your court. I know you're a big fan of giving the people what they want, and everybody wants to see this. Now, this is where it gets fun.
Why didn't you make sure that Hussein was natural before you sponsored him, put it as part of your company, HDLT? Here's the answer.
This kid is obviously taking a lot of stuff.
Hussein Farhat, scamming tens of thousands of people.
I don't think he's natural.
And even AI doesn't believe that this guy is natural.
Hussein's fake claims to be natural.
Kid is
Hussein's
obviously
fake
taking a
claims
lot
to
of
be
stuff.
natural.
1 in a million.
So, I got called out again. So 2 days ago, a guy named Anabolic Stick made a video on me. Apparently this time it's because I lied about my natural bodybuilding show being a drug-tested natural bodybuilding show. Now before we get into this, let me make one thing clear. The whole reason why I started posting on social media in the first place was to inspire people to start their fitness journey, to help them reach their dream physique, and to stay natural by showing them what I was able to achieve naturally. Basically something I wish I had when I kept delaying my fitness journey as a teenager. I really don't like to post these drama videos because in my opinion, they don't provide any sort of value to the viewer. And trust me when I say that I've had multiple chances to clap back at people calling me out before, including someone who just happens to be mentioned in this exact video, but I decided not to until today. And you'll understand exactly what I mean later on, so make sure you watch the whole video until the end. So yeah, today I'm going to be absolutely destroying every single person involved in this video, and I wish I didn't have to do it because like I said, it's not like me to do these types of videos, but when people are straight up lying and coming after my hard work and my natural transformation, which goes completely against why this channel even exists, I have no choice but to answer. So yeah, today's video, I'm going to be reacting and responding to Anabolic Stick's latest video titled Hussein Lied About Natural Bodybuilding Show. Now here is something that is important to note. Before dropping this video, Anabolic Stick made a post on YouTube and here's what he said. Just wanted to say that in the middle of making my Greg response video, I've been contacted by a very credible individual, alright? Very credible individual, keep that in mind, it's going to be important for the rest of the video, with some pretty damning information regarding Hussein Farhat. Not trolling lol video will be up tomorrow or the day after. Alright, so now that we've covered everything you guys need to know, let's start this video.
So I made a video about Hussein Farhat being a fake natty, which absolutely took off in the algorithm, prompting both Hussein and Greg Doucette to respond. When they both responded, one of the main points they brought up was that Hussein Farhat competed in a natural bodybuilding show, so therefore he must be natty. A guy named Sheriff Saad commented on my video. Regarding Hussein mentioning the natural bodybuilding show, I competed in the same show, same stage, and nobody got tested. A guy even told me afterwards he was on SARMs and competed in the show. Natural shows don't mean much.
Alright, by the way guys, this is the very credible individual that reached out to Anabolic Stick and told him that he had like insider information on me. This is the guy that has been training from what he said for 13 years naturally, alright? Keep that in mind, it's going to be important for the rest of the video, but this is basically the guy saying that I've been basically lying about the natural show.
I replied to his comments asking him to DM me on Instagram, and when he did, these were the messages he sent me. He showed me the picture of him at the same show as Hussein and said, "That was me at the show. Nobody was tested, it was all bullshit." I gotta mention, King Kong Classic has 2 days of competing. Friday is open, which means enhanced, and Saturday is the natural one. Me and Hussein both competed at the natural bodybuilding show. You get charged for testing, but they don't test shit. They put all that money straight in their pocket. They had a little room with a couple of women with water bottles, pretending they would randomly pick people to test them, but it was all for show because we had paid for it. But as far as I'm aware, nobody got tested. Furthermore, a guy that competed on the natural stage told me he isn't a lifetime natural. He didn't place well, but I don't want to mention his name, so please respect his privacy.
Alright, so basically here the guy is saying that he competed at the same show as me and that nobody got tested. And he also said that a guy after the show told him that he was on SARMs and he competed in the same show as me and Sharif. And then he says natural shows don't mean much. And then he proceeds to say that the King Kong Classic has 2 days of competing. The enhanced one is the first day and then the second day is the natural one. Natural, alright? And he said I did the natural with him and that we basically got charged for getting tested. You know, there was a $50 charge per class for the test, you know, the drug test, and that the whole show just put that in their pocket, alright? This is what the guy said. So here's what actually happened. There's 2 shows exactly like he said. There's the enhanced show and there's the natural show. Obviously, I applied for the natural show because I saw that it was like advertised as being drug tested. You know, I picked it, I was expecting to get tested, I went to the show and I paid, like I said, $50 per category and I did 8 categories in total, alright? Which means I paid a total of $400 for the show just to get drug tested. So tell me this, let's say you see 2 shows, alright? One of them you don't have a drug testing fee, the other one you do have a drug testing fee. If you decide to pick the show with the drug testing fee, you would obviously expect to get tested, right? stage. So I went on stage, won 7 medals in total, but never got tested. And the issue I have with this whole video was the fact that the guy is basically saying that I lied about the show being drug tested when it's literally advertised as being a drug tested show. It's not my fault if the show decided to cheap out and not test every single person that applied. That's why I chose the show. And just to give you like extra proof on the fact that I haven't been lying about the show being drug tested, tell me why I said this on a podcast.
Was it a natural show?
Yeah. Natural.
Natural? Yeah. What was that? So they tested you?
No, they didn't.
No, wow.
They didn't for that show. They say it's tested, but I didn't get tested.
So basically what you just saw was me on a podcast with Brody and Luke, to which they asked me about the show, and they asked me if I got tested for that show. This podcast was posted 2 months ago, all right? This was 2 months ago, before the guy even first made his video. I had never been called out before, and I literally said on the podcast, and I made a joke about it, I was like, natural bodybuilding show. But yeah, basically I was expecting to get tested for that show, which is why I picked it, but I never got tested. And it's out there, public, on a podcast, so do I find it unfair? I totally do. But as Sharif just said, there was literally people that admitted of not being lifetime naturals that were in the show. And he also said that they didn't even place well. So that means I was on stage with enhanced people that I beat. If everybody was tested at this show, I really think that I would have won at least 1 overall class. But again, it's not my fault, like I said, if the organization decided to cheap out and not test every single person in the show. And again, your whole point of me lying about the fact that I was tested is absolute bullshit, because you literally have proof of me 2 months ago on a podcast saying that I didn't get tested. So that basically covers this whole video that he did. Now, this is where it gets fun. So the main person backing the fake natty accusations is someone named Sharif, a guy who's been training for 14 years and that lost to me at the show. And he's also the same guy who before the show made a natty or not on me, where he called me a fake natty and also called me a scammer.
Pretty much straight lying in people's face. And people are even more discouraged because then they try their programs and they're like, whoa, didn't get us anywhere. Straight BS. Hussein, yeah, I'm calling them out.
He basically said that I faked my transformation and that I wasn't getting any sort of results for my clients without any proof. Now again, fake natty is totally cool. I'm kind of used to it at this point. I really take it as a compliment, no problem. But then saying that I'm scamming my clients and that I'm not getting them any results is kind of crazy. And that was basically a few months before the show. And then what happened is we bumped into each other at the show whilst we were getting our spray tan. I didn't really recognize him at first. I'll be totally honest. I saw him, and the main reason, all right, I'm not trying to roast him. I'm honestly being honest with you guys. I swear to God, I didn't recognize him at first. And the reason is because he was a lot smaller than I saw him in the videos. You know, he was extremely small. I was like, all right, this is just a random guy that's competing in the show. And he was acting extremely friendly. So I was cool with him, no problem. I didn't even recognize him. But then after we got the tan and we left, I got a DM from him on Instagram where he said, let's go, saw you this morning, haha. We all wanted to pee, best of luck, brother. So basically when we were in the room, it was extremely cold and I wanted to pee and he wanted to pee as well. So we just made a joke and he DM'd me that. So I was like, oh damn, that was actually him. That was the guy that made a natty out on me, called me a scammer, and now he's trying to be friends with me, all right? And I also screenshotted the message and sent it to my brother because I thought it was really funny that he was acting all friendly after everything he said about me. And then at the show, exactly like he said, we competed in the same category and I absolutely destroyed him. As you can see here, I got first place and he got 9th at a natural show that we both paid to get tested at. Then he went home, ranted about his whole experience, basically said he almost cried.
I was almost gonna cry after, trust me. It is what it is, you know, the flights. I should never have flight, never fly, man. Why did I fly?
And also in that video, he said I was a great guy.
And I'm not making any excuses. Even if I would have came in at my all-time best, Hussein, he would have still won. He looks amazing and he's got the shape, the proportion, and he's a great guy. We spoke a bit backstage.
Why would he call me a great guy if he thought that I cheated in the show? Like, he just came out and said all of these things about me, the fact that the show wasn't tested. He also just released a video on me saying that I'm not natural. Why the fuck would he call me a great guy if he thought that I lied and that I was competing against him and cheating? Then after the show, what happened is I posted my show day on YouTube and on Instagram, to which he commented on YouTube, congrats bro, good meeting you, hope to see you at the show again next year. Why would you want to see me at the show next year if you know I'm not natural? Explain this to me. Come on bro, make it make sense. And on Instagram he commented, congrats bro, good meeting you, enjoy the cookies. And someone replied to that comment, you made a natty or not video and he was one of the dudes you didn't believe was natural. And he responded to that comment and he said, I know, I do believe he is now after seeing him. So let's be clear. First off, I'm not natty, alright? He made a natty or not before the show, said I'm not natural. Then he meets me in person, says that I'm a great guy, that he thinks I'm natural, and that he hopes to see me at the show next year. And now that the drama is getting clicks and that, you know, I'm all talked about, he makes a video on me again and says that I'm not natural.
Pretty much straight lying in people's face. Hussein, he looks amazing and he's got the shape, the proportion. Straight BS. Hussein, yeah, I'm calling them out. And he's a great guy. We spoke a bit backstage.
This is the guy you choose as a very credible source. The guy changed his mind 3 times, and also now that I go on his Instagram profile and click on messages, guess what? He deleted the messages. So that's basically for Sharif. You're an absolute clout chaser. You try to be friends with me when we met up at the show. You DM me, you put comments on my page. I never replied to you because, you know, again, I'm not fake. I always say the truth. You're trying to critique me, say that I'm a scammer and that I'm not natural. Then we meet up in person. You're trying to be all cool and shit with me. What are the chances he's the one that comes out and talks about the show? Everything, this is God's plan. When you're saying the truth, God wants to favor you, and this is exactly what's happening here. So like I said, I have all the receipts, all the screenshots. You can go on my post. If you go on the post that I posted, LA dump, and it's a picture with Togi and Shizzy, you can find his comment on that post, unless obviously he's probably gonna go and delete it now. But yeah, you can go and see it. I have a screenshot, I just took it. So yeah, bro basically changed his mind 3 times in total, and that's his very credible source. Come on, bro. Come on, do better. The guy also just dropped a video on me, like I said, and Natty or not, basically going over the situation. He literally says at the beginning of the video that he's hopping on this wave for the views.
As you guys know, the drama in YouTube gets more views, and it's a little bit sad because you need to get on those waves of drama and stuff sometimes to get a little bit of views, but it is what it is.
And he was right. It's his best video ever. It basically destroyed all of the ones that he's posted before. He posted 800 videos in total, and the video about me is his best performing one. So the guy is so relevant that he has to mention me in order to get views. And yeah, that was basically his very credible source. But now this is where it gets interesting. So after watching the video, I went to the comment section and I found this comment. We have Connor Sinan who said, if you want, I'll pay for any drug test for you since you can't afford to drug test Hussein. I'll have you overlook the whole thing. I drug test him myself, but since I'm friends with Greg, it may look fishy, so let's get you involved and make some content, bro. And then after that, he made a post on his YouTube, and in that post, there's literally an email where he says, hey, Anabolic Stick, I'm Connor Sinan. I would like to get you involved in Hussein Farhad drug test. Basically, I can fly you out, or we can FaceTime or something, and I want to bring you along to drug test Hussein, and I will pay for everything, every test, and we will figure out if he's natural. I will make the money back with the content, so don't even worry about it. Let me know if we can do this. The reason I'm involving you is because I know you would never lie. So, now that we've absolutely removed this whole reason that you made in the first place, which was I don't have the money to pay for the test, Connor just said he's willing to pay for the test, fly you out here to Montreal where I live to do the test. So here's my offer to you again. I'm down to get tested whenever you want. You can come here tomorrow if you want to, bro. And I will get tested with you and Connor. And if I fail that blood test, I will give you $100,000. But if I pass the blood test, I want you to make an apology video and basically apologize for everything that you said and finally admit that I'm not a fake natty. You literally have no reason not to accept Connor's offer now that he said that he'll pay for everything. So yeah, now put your money where your mouth is, and it's not even your money. Connor's gonna pay for everything, and come here to Montreal and test me. The ball is in your court. I know you're a big fan of giving the people what they want, and everybody wants to see this. It will do content for me, content for Connor, content for you as well, and we will finally have the truth for the people. And you know, you made the first video less than a week ago, so I wouldn't even have time to hop off if I was actually on steroids like you said. So yeah, now that you have no excuse whatsoever to come and test me, I'm waiting for you, bro. And you know what? After we do the blood test, we can go have a workout together and just be friends. You know, we'll just call it a misunderstanding because I already know I'm gonna pass the blood test and people are still gonna call me a fake natty regardless.
So a lot of people have asked, why didn't you make sure that Hussein was natural before you sponsored him? Here's the answer.
1 in a million.
I asked Hussein to submit blood work with no notice. He did and he passed. Every time I call out a fake natty, like Daniel Bailey, Michael Hearn, Ashton Hall, these guys, they don't submit their blood work. They just shy away from it.
So yeah, there you have it, guys. I won't be addressing this drama again because I feel like this is basically what everybody wanted to see and we basically have it right now. And if the guy decides to back out and not do the test, we all gonna know that he's just here to get some views and he's not trying to prove any point. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments what you'd like to see next. Make sure you use code Usain on HGLT subs if you want to grab the best supplements in the world. This is Blue Lobster, Greg's pre-workout, and you can use code Usain, like I said, to save 15% off. And also make sure you check out Momentous. It's our new clothing brand with me, Eric, and Greg. We're gonna be dropping late June, hopefully. Make sure you click on the link to join the email list and be the first to know when we do drop one. And yeah, by the way, here are the people that I scammed. If you guys also want to get scammed like these people, you can click in the first link and join my community. There's training plans in there, diet plans, basically everything that I've learned as natural, building my physique. So yeah, if you also want to get scammed, you can just click and join my community. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Love y'all. Peace.